wallpaper panels on top of the levels to give some interest. I kind of, if it's hard to see, but what I did is I layered words that make us feel hungry. So if you read it, it's like greasy, deep fried, like things that really get us like, that sounds so good right now, you know? And then in the back, you can kind of see the logos, but I stretched them out. So because our brain already knows like half of this is Burger King and half of that, oh, that's green and red, that must be Krispy Kreme, you know? Like, it's like, we already know what it's gonna be. So this is just kind of, we're bombarded all the time and our kids are stuck. So I wanted to have that feeling, kind of not really like, hey, look at me, but that you're sitting there and you're thinking about it. And that's what I wanted the kids to start thinking about. Also, I did the poster design for Briet, so I was able, I'll walk this around. This was about like the comedy romance where they bring in, not necessarily like a witch, but someone who can talk to the dark side per se. And so I had fun making this because my director, Miss Harris, was like, well, I want the poster not to look dark. I want it to look kind of interesting, like a romance is going on. So I was like, okay, well, they have this mirror ball, because this witch has this mirror ball, so, or crystal ball, whatever you want to call it. And I have these characters in here. I have this one girl, this ghost-like, and then this guy. So there's that, what is this about? Because obviously we know what spirit is, but Blythe, what's Blythe? So I kind of explained it through the relationship with the people. To get more publicity out there, made a Facebook cover photo. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but like on your Facebook, you can put a cover photo kind of behind your profile picture. So more publicity, more of our friends could see it. What is this about? Oh, it's on their Facebook, it must be important, you know? So that was interesting. And then the program, really fast. We had to make it in black and white, so I had to readjust things, the smoke in the background, kind of the textures, to make it feel like it was in color, but it's not. So, this isn't really my theater stuff, but this is a thing I did for my district. It was a No Tobacco Day poster, and I just submitted it, and then I got a reply that I won it. So that was pretty cool. So, just another kind of, I wasn't sure what to show, and there's just like, I love the computer and I've grown with my graphics, so I thought that could kind of help and show you that I love technology and I love finding new ways to create and express who I am through what I can do. So I hope that is kind of good overall. Good.
Is that from the Sarah?
Yes, this is from the Sarah. This is
Is she flying?
no. Well, I guess it could.
Well, it's a good illusion for me.
Okay, cool. We actually took the costume rack from our costume storage, the ladder thing, and we just put her on that, put drapes on her. So she's kind of this gigantic dreamline.
That's right.
With Fiddler, you know, it's a lot of it, you know, simple people in a simple setting. And I noticed that your color palette is really saturated and really deep and rich.
Yeah.
How did you come to that design decision?
Okay. These are my gels, obviously. My front light is just a regular Lee 4, and I thought I wanted something a little more warm to bring out the color in their face and the costume, because I was talking to my director, and she wanted these layers of clothes, but she didn't want the layers of clothes to be kind of like droopy. She wanted color. So I was like, I need to help her. I need to help her bring out the color and not just do kind of bland, because you can do like gels that don't help embrace the color in the costume. So that's what that was. I'm trying to like come up with a better answer. The purple I thought I could use during the relationships when they're forming moments, because it was kind of pink, that lovey-dovey, but then during the night nurse scenes, it's perfect because it brings out kind of this spooky, this ultraviolet-y, glow-in-the-dark, like dreamlike sense. So that's why I went purple. And then these two were on box booms, way in the far back as just an overall wash for these really dark moments, and they came out beautifully. I'm so glad they photographed them all. So the orange was, I wanted sun. There's a song called Sunrise Sunset, so that's where the orange kind of came in, and then the blues was when it kind of got darker. I needed something to help me convey that. So that's
Can you explain what the sense of the single gobo, I presume?
Okay, the single gobo was just the idea that the family was going through hardships, and throughout the story that they're struggling, like, oh, they might have happy times, like they're stepping on the puzzle piece, or they might be struggling and like their father doesn't let them do what they want, and that's kind of off the puzzle piece. They don't have it together. It's kind of broken, and their world is falling apart. So what's keeping them together are the pieces that are linked.
You talked a minute about the collaborative process. This was an original piece, right?
Yes.
Could you talk about your collaboration with the director and
Okay. For Eat, it was really interesting because it was such a serious topic for teenagers. But I wanted to make the stage interesting, but not something that people have seen before. So this in the back, it's kind of a large, like, basic platform step because she wanted levels, and she wanted kind of these areas where specific actors could go back to and relate to a memory that was earlier performed. If that makes sense. So you could remember that character, and you could remember, okay, she was struggling with something, but she's there again, so she might be in her kitchen now. So it's kind of like, okay, I recognize that character. So I gave her like this one over here, which is here, this two-step, and they're all different sizes. They were irregular because I didn't want the sense that this was kind of a balanced message. It's an unbalanced message. We all see it differently. We all kind of connect to it differently. So it was really interesting. We had to like build something, and then she's like, oh, I don't like it. That's not what I like saw in my head. And it's like, okay, well, let's try again. So that's what these sketches were. It was originally like raked kind of to the original simple platforms, individual platforms. But then we decided that we couldn't have that much rake. It would take too much of her stage, and directors are directors, so you have to compromise.
What instruments do you play?
I play bass clarinet, clarinet, electric bass. What else?
Do you think you being a musician has helped you as a designer?
Oh, like tremendously.
How has it influenced your design?
During, let's go back to Fiddler. During the tech, on like a Saturday when we were putting in the light cues, there was certain things about the musical pit that were playing. There were big, like, crescendos and then decrescendos, and I wanted that feeling, like the dances, and when it turned to like tango or whatever was going on, I feel like I could relate to it because I was like, oh, I know the feeling. I know what it feels like to me. So it's like, okay, let's bring in these blues. It feels kind of like red now. It's kind of getting like tango-y. So I feel like in like bumps, it's like, oh, there's a bump right now. Okay, go. And I could watch my conductor from where I was in the booth and just kind of go with his, and my stage manager was always like, why do you do that so perfectly every time? It's like, you just watch the conductor. He's doing the cues anyways. So I think every designer should have some sort of kind of musical background. I feel like it really helps you to really understand what the music is saying. Read between the lines of the music, read between the lines of the script, to give you that sort of, what is this message to me? What are they trying to say to me? So I get that from music, I get that from books, I love reading. So
Marlee, why are you drawn to design as opposed to performance or stage management or other parts of the theater that you could do in high school?